the Hot, and you're welcome. My name is Ifoma Oji, your host for today, and I'm not alone in the studio. I'm being joined by the ever beautiful women of Nigeria. I address them. One from United States, they say they are not from United States, and the other one from Congo, they say they are not from Congo. So I think we can all agree that they are from Nigeria. So all the way from United States of Nigeria, please make welcome Genevieve Okeke and Sharon Enemchukwu. Good afternoon, ladies. Chichi
from the United States.
Oh, Miss Chichi, good afternoon. All right, Miss Chichi, good afternoon. How are you doing this afternoon? You look. What's going on? You look.
The name is so weird. Sharon,
You look good anyway. Pinky vibes. And you, Genevieve, you look good. All right, thank you. Let's move over to the stories for today. Now, it has been widely reported that Twoface was arrested in the UK after a heated altercation with his wife, Natasha, while at or near an airport or air shop setting. Now, the alleged event reportedly caused him to miss a scheduled concert dated on October 2, 2025. A video has circulated online shared by a blogger which purports to show police escorting Twoface out of a store with his hands cuffed behind his back. Let's take a look.
Don't do that! Don't do that! Don't do it! Don't fucking do it! Every day when it's not for me, what do you have? Don't do that! Why you shouting at me? Why you shouting at me? Why you raising your voice at me? Can you go like this? Why you do that?
The person that's close to the edge is better, so bro, that's not done, you don't put the guy. Yeah, so there's a list like that. Bro, all of this is in my house. Outside, but we don't have to. Yeah, we can't only do it together, but I just, we got back here and went to start accommodation.
Apparently, I want to have a conversation, but I need someone to go here.
Don't worry. I'll sort that out. Don't worry. They just questioning. Just don't say nothing.
Now, allegations from the ex-management team claimed Natasha controls Twoface's finances and career, and that she has demonstrated feats of rage. They argue the singer needs to be saved from her influence. Let's take a look. I'm really enjoying this.
You need to shut the fuck up, man. You need to shut the fuck up.
They're free. Innocent. They should see us together.
All right, there are more videos that we are going to take a look at where the same management, this is a video where Daddy Freeze was live with his ex-management, the video we just watched right now, and immediately Twoface came live. He had an altercation with his wife, but we'll take a look at the video where the management was kind of explaining exactly what happened in UK and what happening in Twoface's home. Let's take a look at the video.
This London case, okay, so let me even say it. You see this London case, this is not the first time she's drawing a bottle on him. That's the second time I'm witnessing her draw a bottle on him. In short, the first time I witnessed her fighting, it was like a film. It was like a movie. And most times when this thing happens, it's always about money. Once Baba receives money from somewhere, she's trying to take it out of his account or something. And if Baba resists, it turns violent. She's hitting him. It was one day I noticed one that I witnessed. For 4 hours straight, we were trying to pull her away from him. She was even trying to get me to beat him. And I was like, I don't understand. Why do you want me to beat him when you are the one being the aggressor? Make it make sense to me.
So that thing to Baba's mother said that she should come and loosen the chain or the bangle that she wore for him. Do you think there's any, I don't believe in this hocus pocus spirituality, but with all this going on, how come Baba cannot just walk away? Do you think there's any spiritual?
I don't believe in those things either too.
Now this is looking like first it was peace of mind turned to fire. Now a lot of people are saying from you move from frying pan to fire. That is from Annie to Natasha, who is now the real fire. And this particular video, this development has got a lot of reactions on social media, but I'm not going to take much reactions. I won't even read the tweets because I believe Nigerians addresses exactly what's going on. So I'm coming to my ladies in the studio. Now we know when African Queen happened, when he sang African Queen, Annie was in the video and we were rooting for our legend Twoface. And I mean, he is the legend of our time, of all times, you could say. And it may seem as though he has been having, you know, marital problems with Annie, and then Natasha came into the picture, and then we saw the divorce happen, and it was looking like, okay, Twoface has finally found love again, or he has found peace of mind, and then this chaos. I'll start with you, Sharon. Your take.
Enjoy his peace of mind. Honestly, Baba is an artist I grew up listening to. A lot of us grew up listening to Baba. We knew him as Twoface, but then he transitioned into Baba. He made the legendary hit which you mentioned, African Queen, which we believe was for Annie, his former wife. And from Annie's point of view, Twoface is literally, or Baba is literally the only man she's ever been with. Yeah. And she fell in love with him from when she was 15. And from that age of 50, they've been together. They have 2 kids together. Even though Baba is, Baba and has other kids with different women, but only for this year. And I would just recall, bring to our mind that on there's a reality show that Annie Dibia is part of. It merges South African celebs and Nigerian celebs as well, rich and famous. I'm getting it wrong, but that particular reality TV show, you can see that we had a glimpse into their personal life, the personal life of Tubaba and Annie, and how fiercely Annie loved Tubaba, and how her world sort of revolved around him and her kids. That was like the only thing that I got that she was really passionate about from that reality show. They celebrated their 10-year anniversary just like a while back, and on that particular day, Tubaba said to 10 years more, right? He cheered to 10 years more. Only for 2025, bang, 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 Nick. What happened What happened to those vows that they renewed, that they made, the promises? Well, I'm not in their life, but we just saw Natasha in the picture. From being in the picture, she became his wife, and now she's pregnant. We heard she also gave birth, but I don't know, but I know that she's pregnant for sure. Only for me to start seeing all of these videos and images and reports from people that used to be in Baba's team, and I'm just saying that, first off, it's so bad that a legend such as himself has gotten to this point that he's now everybody's business. And they're talking about his personal life. I believe that for a man, right, your woman is supposed to be your pride. For a woman, your man as well. That has been trashed completely in the eyes of everybody. We transitioned from Ned Woko to Regina Daniels to Baba and Natasha all of a sudden, and that switch is just really fast. I really feel terrible, just also for the image that Baba built all over the years to just go down the drain because of Natasha.
Exactly. Now people in the comment section will say our legend is not legending anymore. And then I'm coming to you right now, Genevieve. A lot of people, or if you've seen the video from Daddy Freeze and Tubaba's team, you could see where the team was trying to explain to Tubaba and the entire Nigeria that it may seem as though that they did juju on Twoface. That was why he left his wife initially. Now, do you think that there's a possibility of that?
To be honest, the high time we Africans stop spiritualizing so many things. I think that we'll be able to come to understanding of some things.
But people are saying that his eyes is clearing now.
See, my own take is this is all celebrity talks. There's a long line of statistical history that celebrity marriages don't last. So I've not seen
I've
much
seen.
more.
I can count.
Like who exactly?
Oh God, Banky W, haven't you seen that?
Those
couple?
are people that you don't get to hear their life all over. They don't show their life on social
definitely,
media. So one thing about me, my own perspective that I've understood is it's celebrity and it will always be celebrity. There's always a game. Just like there's something that Sharon said. She said we don't know their life. We don't know what is happening. We are not there. We are just seeing the one that just wants to be on social media. So you don't know. Tubaba has ambitions. Anna has ambitions. Yes, they can come. I'm not saying maybe they didn't love each other, but they could come and portray the wonderful, loving, doughy couple. But each of them have what they are aspiring to, their targets. Natasha has her target. You cannot tell me that Natasha and Tubaba just came in. There must be something. So this whole thing is kind of, for me, it's just another celebrity drama.
Anyway, now talking about target, you mentioned the fact that Natasha has a target. Yes, so a lot of people now, even her Tubaba's team, is saying now that Natasha controls his finances, that she allegedly uses his phone anytime she received Tubaba receives a transaction, that she sends the money to her own account, and sometimes she sends text messages to Tubaba's friend asking for money, and she'll tell the person to send the money to her own account to the wife's account. So but I would want us to take a look at more revelation from Tubaba's team. We'll come back and have more conversations.
Well, that one notwithstanding, she kept on sending the money in bits. She kept on sending the money in bits, and that money was going. I tell you that she even used the card to buy flight tickets.
Can you prove this? Can you substantiate this?
Yes, I can. If Bush comes to shove, I will tell them how I'll prove it. I will not say it here, but I will prove it. And it will be, if they say I'm lying, let them come. The reason why I know that she bought flight tickets, she called me, asked me for my name, that she wants to book a ticket for me to Benin. I never flew to Benin with that ticket. So that money was wasted. Then that day she said she must go to club, she must settle herself from the hospital. No, we are going to club. This one that is not feeling fine. We are going to club. That is the only way she can settle with her husband. This. Then, as we're going downstairs, Baba said that if you are going to the club and you want to embarrass me outside, I won't follow you. Oh my God. All hell was let loose. She punched him, scratched him, kicked him. I had to stand in the middle, me and the bodyguard. I took some straight blows. I tell you. That was the Nigeria abuse. That was it. I took some straight blows.
From Natasha to Tubaba, or from Tubaba to Natasha?
Nobody did not lift a finger. That man is as gentle as, as water. That man, I've never seen someone with that tolerance level. I've never, that he freeze, I've never. Even me, where I know the beast woman, I've done shallow the baby. I was like this, make him move back. He didn't even do anything. He took everything. She slapped him.
Interesting revelations. Now I can see clearly that Daddy Freeze was enjoying everything, even though he said earlier that Tubaba is his man, is his person, that he cannot stand such a thing happening to him, that everybody needs to come together. But from the video, you could see he was so excited, asking questions from this person to this person. And I'm just going to talk right now about marital violence or violence in the home. We could see clearly now that this guy, one of his team member, is ready to substantiate the proof that he had that what's it called, Natasha has been abusing Twoface violently. And I'm just going to come to you. What is your general take on this before we move to
You
the
know,
next
we
story?
are seeing that the Edo State House of Assembly has called Natasha for questioning to appear before their ethics committee within a week, because I'm sure because of the videos that has circulated all over social media. I'm not sure if she has honored that. There was a video I saw her moving into the house. I don't know if that was, you know, to honor that invitation. But yeah, we saw that, you know, and just generally, right? I would just say this, right? In as much as we have the freedom to do whatever we want to do, it's your life. If you're in the public space, if you've been in the public space, especially for somebody like Tubaba, who I expected so much from, seeing that he's how old now, 50 years
Yes,
old,
50.
and he
Turned
started
50.
and he's been in the industry for more than 2 decades, right? You'd expect that he knows the nitty-gritty of public image. I just
Exactly.
feel that 20 years, the 20 years plus that he spent building an image has just been rubbished and thrown into the bin because of the decision he made to follow Natasha.
All right, I guess we'll still see more development from this particular story, and we'll still update you on that. But let's move to the next story. Now to the United States, where a major debate is brewing over Nigeria's legal and security framework. At a congressional briefing in Washington, Senior fellow Ebenezer Obadari has urged U.S. lawmakers to pressure Nigeria to abolish the Sharia criminal code and disband the HISBAH religious beliefs operating across 12 northern states. Now, according to Obadari, extremist groups, including Boko Haram and ISWAP, allegedly exploit the presence of Sharia enforcement structures to justify violence, forced conversions, and abuse of minorities. He also argues that some HISBAH personnel act outside constitutional boundaries by arresting, detaining, and punishing civilians without due process. Now, this is not the first time the HISBAH Corps has come under scrutiny. Over the years, there have been reports of raids on alcohol sellers, harassment over dress codes, obstruction or destruction of goods, and selective enforcement that raises questions about human rights and equality before the law. Now, this particular development raises a big question. Should Nigeria's legal system be shaped by religious codes, or must the constitution remain secular and supreme? Now, over the years, we've seen this HISBAH, we've seen this law, the Sharia law, which has been enforced by the HISBAH group, which is more like a police. Now, we've seen Nigerian constitution, and it's as if we're having two laws or two constitutions in Nigeria, one the Sharia law, one the Nigerian constitution. And over the years, this has really been causing a lot of, tussle or back and forth in Nigeria. And this particular state, the northern state, about 12 states are practicing this Sharia law, but we've seen a lot of extremism or extremists going beyond what this Sharia law was supposed to stand for, which is standing for path, is standing for religion, is standing for people dressing, for people to dress appropriately. It condemns inappropriate dressing and the rest of them, rape and the rest of them. But we are seeing a lot contrary to what this Sharia law was supposed to be upholding, that it's no longer that. Now, I'm just going to get your opinion because of time. I'm just going to get your opinion, Genevieve. Now, if this law gets abolished, what do you think will be what do you think it will look like for the northern states that are practicing Sharia laws?
Well, certainly it will not definitely sit right with them. I mean, they would feel, we already know there is no one Nigeria, but they will definitely feel like they are being neglected again, or that, like they have been saying. I mean, I remember when Gumi said that these people are human beings when it comes to the bandits. So they will definitely feel like they are being neglected again. So I don't know if, I think what should be done should be checkmating the part of the Sharia law that is detrimental to human rights, and seeing if it can be, arranged, if it can be modified, if it can be scrapped out. But maybe scrapping it out, I don't know if it's going to be a good idea, but they should look at the Sharia law very, very well, the part that is affecting the human right, and then maybe bring out a law for people that are extremists over it, that they should be charged for being, going way above what Sharia law stands for.
All right, now in the Nigerian constitution, it actually permits or allows people to practice other religion, but for Sharia law, it doesn't allow, or it prohibits from people from practicing other religion. Now, I'm just going to come to you, Sharon. Do you think that abolishing this Sharia's criminal code violates the constitutional freedom of religion for Muslim majority states? Let me just get your entire
I don't
take
think
on that.
so. I don't think it prohibits anything constitutionally. In fact, it is going to reset our constitution, because if you really think about it, right, it's under the same Sharia law that you have people being amputated when they commit crimes. You go on the road, you see a lot of amputees begging, and you think, oh, what's something, maybe an accident. No, sometimes they were amputated legally by their Sharia law. So I just think, right, it is also very worrisome that Nigeria practices the Sharia law, but no law from like the Christian side. If you look at it, they say that we are not an Islamic nation. So what have we been doing with the Sharia law? And you look at some of these states, and this is where when I was talking about the Kanu state government that was sponsoring weddings for over 200 orphans, and I'm saying this is what they believe. I think it's part of a culture they practice or believe they have. This called the HISBAH, right? And they've merged that with the politics that they play there. I really think there should be a distinction between religious practices, whether it be like from your religious belief, and the politics that we play as a nation. So yes, I think there should really be a distinction between that and the Sharia law.
Do you think it should be abolished?
Of course, that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
When I'm saying distinction, it should just be separated, right? It should be practiced when you go to your mosque. It shouldn't have legal binding. It shouldn't have force constitutional outside of that house, right? There are things that we believe as Christians. We believe that divorce is wrong, but you can still go ahead and get divorced. It's not a law, right? I just believe it should end in their mosque and not outside.
Exactly, just like the Christians, if it is Catholic, they have doctrines. So I think this should be imbibed in their own doctrine and not necessarily a law for the entire Nigerians. I think everybody should be able to accept and permit other people's religion. We have a freedom to practice whatever religion we want to practice, so long as it doesn't infringe on other people's religion. Now, meanwhile, in Akwa Ibom State, a very different kind of cultural controversy is unfolding. Governor Umeno has announced an indefinite ban on all masquerade street displays across the state. Now, the directive enforced with immediate effect orders security agencies to arrest and prosecute anyone who attempts to stage a masquerade procession, even during the festive period. Now, the governor's justification: a rise in criminal activities allegedly carried out by individuals disguising themselves as masquerade to extort money, intimidate residents, and disrupt public peace. Now, there is a new development following the new law or the new order given by the governor of Akwa Ibom State. We can see in a video that we will be watching shortly, the gods in the person of, I think, David, has been arrested because they said he violated the order. Let's take a look at the video. right, that was quite, you know, hilarious. But let's just get to it. I'll just have your take. Do you think that gradually our culture, because so many people, so many both northern, southern, and the rest of them believe in cultures, and which we see displays during festive period seasons like Masquerade and the rest of them. Do you think we are gradually coming to an end where all those are cultural attributes, or all those are cultural, this thing is going or is being abolished? Do you think we are moving towards that stage? Just your take generally, both the video and the question.
Well, first of all, the first question, yes, we are, and I would have the cultural leaders, the leaders in the rural areas to blame, because the governor of Akwa Ibom is not wrong to say that most of the time this masquerade things constitute nuisance and the rest of them. Yes, they use it to scare people, steal money and all that, but I will have the rural leaders to blame, the people that are in charge, the Igwe, the Oba, those people that are in charge of these things. I remember in the olden days, then when you're hearing folk tales, you can't, masquerades are very sacred.
Yes,
they are reputable, respectful images and you know, things that people respect. They don't just come around and behave anyhow. So I would blame the rural leaders. They should look into scrutinizing the people that are in charge of, they should look into telling them that this is the 21st century and there are things, how things are done. So that's my take on that.
All right, now coming to you, the same thing I asked was Genevieve, just your take on this. And do you think, because I believe that all these costumes and masquerades are they're not just for entertainment, it's more like an ancestral symbol. Do you think that it's getting to that point whereby it will be abolished? Just your general take in a minute, please.
So generally, I feel like, right, it's a privilege of who is in power. Okay, so I'm just going to compare with what happened in the White House when Joe Biden was president, and it has trended a little recently since we're in December, right? So when Joe Biden was president, the White House decoration, the concept for the Christmas decoration was quite, what will I call it, unique. Now that Donald Trump is back in the house, we saw Melania Trump's touch as per Christmas decoration, and it was just, you know, the traditional Christmas decoration, you know, beautiful and all of that, in my opinion. So I think, you know, seeing that the governor of Akwa Ibom is a Christian pastor, and he is the one in authority, he is the one in power, he is going to make policies or rules or laws that would favor you know, what he stands for. And I think that is just what he's doing here, right? So whether it's going to be, I don't know, seriously, I really don't know. I see masquerades as, you know, them being fun. Exactly. And in the past, it's something that we grew up to I don't really know so much about them. I'm really indifferent about that particular. It's not really at the top of my priority. Okay, it doesn't really affect the state of insecurity, or so whether he abolishes them or it doesn't, I just think it's the fun that would be affected.
Okay, just a little on, let me just say a little on this. I think a lot of people still hold this so sacred. Like for me, I see it as a form of entertainment. I remember growing up how I look forward to traveling home and having masquerade, running helter-skelter, and the rest of them running away from them, and it was so much fun. So watching or coming to see that's being abolished in some states, I felt, you know, somehow, but I believe maybe that might still be sorted out. Now to our last story of the day. A retired director of information at the National Youth Service Corps, Eddie Megwa, has cautioned corps members against irregular migration, popularly known as the Japa syndrome. Speaking at the 2024 Batch C Stream 2 orientation camp in Bauchi State, Megwa described illegal migration as suicidal, noting that many young Nigerians have died in the Sahara Desert and on unsafe sea routes while attempting to leave the country. Now, he urged the corps members to strive for excellence and surpass previous generations, insisting that today's youth have access have access to opportunities the older generations never had. Maguire also warned them to avoid criminal activities that could tarnish their reputations and bring shame to their families. Now, highlighting the skill acquisition and entrepreneurship development program, Said, he encouraged the core members to take skill learning seriously as a solution to unemployment. Now, I think I'll start with you, Sharon. You've been to camp and you've participated in this Said class.
Thank you.
Please, I really want to ask you, how did it develop your life?
Nice question. So the Said is the skill acquisition entrepreneurship something training program, right?
Yeah.
So what it basically means is that I think in your second week of camp they start the Said training. There are different skills, you pick one. I remember I picked hair making. Now you pick hair making and the training is not even up to 10 days. The training is not up to 10 days. What am I supposed to learn? Under 10 days, less than, I'm not even kidding. Ask anybody. It's not even, if it was that immediately you got to camp, because camp is supposed to be 3 weeks, but it's not really 3 weeks, just 2+ weeks, right? If you calculate it well. So even if it's that maybe that first week you started the training, no, it's like later on and you are doing Sahi, then later you have to do, and I feel like at the end of that Sahi training, right, you're supposed to come and do a display of what you've learned. And the people, let me just tell you, let me expose what we do, is that we just pick people that already know how to do it. It's not the ones that it's not the people that don't know anything, beginners that will now go and start displaying what they don't know on that day. No, it's people that already have an idea. So I just think that yes, the Said is coming from a good place, but it's not practical in the sense that okay, even after learning most of those trainings, for example, people that learned how to make bags, there are materials that they need. You don't give us anything after we learn to like support us. Okay, just go out there. This is the amount. Yeah, this is the money that you're going to get after NYSC and all of that. So yeah, I know that it's coming from a good place, but like anything that most things that Nigerian government would do, it doesn't have enforcement. It's not practical. And that's what I'm going to say about that.
Thank you for that. I remember in camp too, I joined the hairdresser side class, and to be honest, I had prior knowledge about making hair, but going there, I'm like, okay, looking forward to learning new things. I didn't learn nothing. Rather, I was the one teaching people. It was quite funny. And the day of display, I was shocked to see a lot of people topping, people that could make hair very fast, and people were shocked even in the what is it called, in the hall, all these officials. And in my mind, I'm like, this is such a scam.
Yes,
to be honest, because
it's just surface level, right?
God, you can't tell me that this person learned how to
within
make hair
how many days?
2 weeks, and then they are very fast at it, and they are topping other people. Seriously, I think they should definitely look into that. But let me just come to you, Genevieve. Why do you think Nigerian youths are increasingly crossing the borders?
Because there's something the man said. I can't remember his exact word, but he's saying that they should focus on developing themselves, be better, and opportunities, yada yada. How will they be better if it's only old people? Old people are the people that are leading us. There is no opportunities for the younger ones to come out and try. When they want to chase their dreams, a whole lot of bills and unnecessary tax will want to invade them. Come on, who is not going to risk their life for a better greener pasture? So I don't blame anybody that is going out there taking the illegal route just to seek a betterment. It is the government that should be blamed. You come out, you tell us to go. Look at, just imagine how many people die on a daily basis just for their service. They want to commute. There is no, it's very unplanned, it's crazy. There is nothing there to say that, oh, we should go for a skill. I've not done my service and look at what I'm hearing.
Now, Sharon, lastly on this topic, do you think that ideas, or rather this advice alone cuts it?
Which advice?
The advice from the
Oh no, I don't think so. I don't think so, right? There's what we would say in our local parlance, no advice to go chop.
Exactly.
You have to, you have to get to the root cause of this thing. Why are people leaving the country? Why are they running away? It's for a particular reason. Most of those people outside would really have preferred to be in Nigeria if things were better. With their families. A lot of people who go out complain of being depressed, being alienated from the communities over there. Starting afresh is no joke. Nobody likes that. People jackpotting is actually a survival mechanism, right? It's just because they're trying to survive and find greener pastures. So the right people should be advising is the Nigerian government.
Exactly, exactly. To be honest, your contributions were quite apt. You can't be. It's more like when you go to church and you meet your pastor and you tell your pastor that your wife is dying, and then you be like, everybody get on your feet, let's pray. You see everybody praying, but what you actually need at that point is probably help, monetarily, financial assistance. So most of these things is not advice, just like what Sharon said. Not be advice we go chop. These people are leaving the country because they are looking for better life, not necessarily because they don't want to stay in Nigeria. When you create that environment for them to survive in Nigeria, why would they leave in the first place? But this is where we are going to call it a wrap on our CD Hot right here on Active Citizens. I am your host for today, Ifoma Oji, and special appreciation to my co-host and my guest in the studio. Thank you for doing this with me.
Welcome.
And you to our VIP, and you are VIP, thank you for watching. But if you're yet to comment, if you're yet to like, share, it is very, very wrong, to be honest. I tell you, please kindly like, share, and comment. You can find us across all social media platforms at Active Citizens, and you can find me on my private page on Facebook at Oji Sophia and on Instagram at Miss Select You Genevieve.
You can always find me in the studio.
All right, you, Sharon.
Across all social media at Sharon Chuku.
All right, till we see you in the evening for political issues in the country. Do have